Hey Rockstar, Steve aka Void here. Welcome back to another episode of RIFFSTARTER, where I help you play your favorite riffs from day one by removing those annoying speed bumps and roadblocks that get in your way. So all the best strategies, not stories, but also stories, best strategies and techniques from the show are based on my best-selling book, Practice Less, Play More. And also, if you want to play your favorite riff in 5 days or less, then definitely check out riffstarter.com for my Pick A Riff 5-day challenge. You might have put in www.riffstarter.com, but definitely check it out. So today we are going to be talking about Enter Sandman, and this riff is, I used to be a huge Metallica fan, and this was one of the first riffs that I learned on guitar. Now, as you'll see in a second, there are quite a few things here that can get you tangled up, okay? And depending on your level of playing, there are a few things that I want to talk about to just give you some options. And a big part of playing from day one, it doesn't mean the first day that you start playing guitar. I mean, it does kind of mean that, but what I mean by play from day one is that the first day that you go and learn that riff, that you're playing music, okay? And we talk about this principle of, instead of trying to match your current skill level to the level of the riff, we want to match the riff to your current skill level, and that's how you play from day one, okay? So let's have a look at the tab, and I'm just using a new system over here, so just bear with me. Okay, so yeah, so this is gonna be good. Okay, so basically we have the tab here, okay, and the first part that jumps out to me here is this fingering, this left hand fingering, or the fretting hand fingering. And so it says this note here has to be played with the pinky, this note here has to be played with the middle finger, this one with the ring finger, this one with the index, okay? And I'm just going to show you this in a second, because what a lot of guitar players do, they'll play this face value, which means they're going to start here, they're going to play this, then they're going to play this, then this, then this, then this, and so on and so forth. They take the tab as scripture, as gospel. It's like, this has to be played like this. And a lot of guitar players get stuck when they do that, because they're basically playing it at face value. They're trying to play it exactly like it sounds on the record. And if you've seen any episodes of RIFFSTARTER, you know that that's not the most efficient way to do it. So basically what the tab is showing is this. So, and this is what I show in the beginning. When I'm playing the riffs, I try to play it as close to face value as possible, just so you could see, but that's just to kind of demonstrate what riff it is. But when you're actually going to play it from day one, so this, and then this, and then you bring the index finger over the middle finger, that's kind of ridiculous. And so some guitar players might be able to do that right away. Other guitar players, that's going to be a disaster. Okay, it's like I remember there's a picture there of some chord, there was like some jazz chord, some meme I saw on Facebook. Anyway, that's kind of what that part's like. So that, we don't want to do that, okay? I don't recommend doing that at first. What I recommend doing, okay, so at the very least, use the ring finger and the index finger, okay, and then the middle finger is lined up, and then bring the index finger back here. Now, this note doesn't ring out, but who cares? It doesn't matter. I mean, it sounds like Enter Sandman. You play that for any Metallica fan. Even if they're not a Metallica fan, they'll probably recognize that. And you could also do all downstrokes. Really, it's all about making whatever it's basically matching the riff to your skill level. So it's whatever works for you, whatever you want to do. But it's very important to understand that these are just stepping stones. So you take it as far as you want to. So for example, you might play it even like this. Here's another interesting way, because this note is the same as this note, this open string. You don't have to touch, you don't have to press anything down. You could even just hold this note down. Because let's just say, for example, if you're blocking this note for whatever reason, you can just hold down the ring finger on the 7th fret and play the open 3rd string. Okay? And it sounds like the same riff. Totally fine. It's not what James Hetfield is playing on the record. Who cares? That's the kind of the moral of the story with riffs. And it's like, who cares? We're guitar players. We want to have fun. It's not about like following a textbook. So the tab, you could still end up playing it at face value, but first play like this. Have some fun on day one, play first, and then build from there. Because that's the other thing you're going to find, is that once you get the musical version down, then the next version is going to be easier. Like, for example, if you're going to do this, you get that going, cool. Then maybe the next you want to get this going. you know, it's not like you're stuck with one of the versions. It's just I encourage you to play music from day one, because if you're playing and everything sounds like for example this, you're kind of like trying to reach over. That doesn't sound like music. That's not fun, right? So with this riff here, a very quick way to get into it is actually by holding down the 7th fret and playing the 3rd string open, and then maybe not even doing the last note. Like instead of going, maybe just go like this. Just to start, play along with the record, and then you could always add that note in afterwards. Okay, maybe like 5 minutes from now, 10 minutes from now, when the first version is feeling comfortable, or tomorrow. You know, it's all about getting that first musical version down. Okay, so that is the that's the intro there. But then the main riff. Okay, so the main riff sounds like this. And if we go to check out the so sorry, that's a bit loud. So let's check out the tab of this part here. Okay, so what you'll notice here is there's some vibrato on there. There's palm mute on one of the notes. There's slides on the 7th fret. Okay, there's power chords. There's a lot of stuff going on over here. Okay, this is all palm muted. So there's a lot of things to maneuver. The important thing to understand, again, when you're playing these riffs, is you got to match it to your skill level. So if you don't want to play, or if you can't play something, then don't. Like for example, what you might even want to do just to start is play with one finger and just play along with the record. Put the record on, go like this. Play along with the record. Okay, you're hearing the drums, you're hearing the guitars, you're hearing the bass, you're hearing everything, and that's more like being a guitar player than trying to play like and trying to follow the tab. What I first showed you was more like being a guitar player, like, hey, let's just play along. Okay, even with one finger. Okay, but that's to start off. That's like if you're really, really starting off on guitar, if you're a novice. But if you're an intermediate player, you can go like this. You go no vibrato at first. Like, you don't have to do the vibrato. Don't worry about any palm muting. You don't have to do any palm muting, and then you could always just get that version down first and then add the palm muting later. Okay, I think you're starting to understand kind of the approach here. It's like get something down, get something musical first, match to your skill level first. That's how you get the musical version, and then you inch up bit by bit with new stuff. You just upgrade it, and then you could obviously get to the face value version. It seems like kind of more steps, but it's actually it's going to take you less time if you're doing it this way, because each time you're playing more music, and it's a foundation for the next part. It's like you're setting up the next part and the next part and the next part. Okay, so let me show you a couple more ideas for the heavy part. So use whatever fingers you want. You want to use the middle finger here, and then 2 index there, or like the ring finger, middle, index. Okay, so that kind of thing. Also, what you can do over here with the power chords, you can do 2-finger power chords, 3-finger power chords, but also here on the tab it says play 2 strings. So it says basically play 2 strings. So if you see right over here, it's like 2 open strings, then a power chord, then 2 open strings, then a power chord. So what you can do instead is you can just play the open 6 string like this. So a chord, note, so just an open note, so chord. So I'm going to say note when I'm playing only the E string. So it's like chord, note, chord, and then this is a chord at the end, the open E. But it's like you don't have to get exactly the 6th string and the 5th string. Both of them. Just be more relaxed, have fun with it. Like, how would a kid play this? And then when that feels good, you can get the palm muting involved. Okay? But it's all about making it your own, okay? That's really the moral of the story here with RIFFSTARTER. I really want that to be just hammered home, because I see too many guitar players every single day just stuck on the same parts and not playing anything that sounds like music. We need something, we need it sounding like music. And as a guitar player, by the way, so I've toured all over the world. I've opened for bands like Kiss, Hinder, Motley Crue. I've toured the world, and I know what playing guitar, like I've seen the what's necessary on stage, like what you need to, the skills that you need to have, mistake recovery, being able to stay in time. These things are obviously, you know, you want to play the right notes wherever possible, but there's so many things that I'm not seeing being taught online, and playing the way that I showed you, where you're just kind of getting like stuck on the parts like this, like where you're kind of just like following the tab. That's not really guitar playing. Okay, so as a guitar player, you need to be playing with other instruments as much as possible and training that skill. So especially your time. Okay, bum 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 bum. It's supposed to be in time. That's the most important skill that you can have. I mean, timing is everything, right, with music. So that's why instead of trying to match your current skill level to the level of the riff, match the riff to your current skill level with some of the ideas that I told you here. That's how you play from day one. And it doesn't matter what level you're at on guitar. An intermediate player, you can match it and maybe just remove the vibrato. Some of the ideas that I talked about, okay? So that is the approach that we take. And, you know, my students are getting way better results, way faster results with this approach and having way more fun in the process. Just remember to have fun. We're playing music here, right? So again, if you want to play your favorite riff in 5 days or less, train with me. It's only $5. It's on sale right now for $5. Maybe when you're watching the replay of this, it might have changed. But right now, if you're watching this live, it is $5. You might have to go to www.riffstarter.com. And yeah, I hope to see you there. Put your requests in the comments if you're watching the replay. Pop your requests for future riffs on RiffStarter, and I'll see you in the next episode. Take care.